Hey, welcome to our second part of our video series on client profitability. Okay, so you've got an unprofitable client. What do you do about it? Well, here's a 5-step process to help you work through how to manage unprofitable. Step 1, decide, do you even want the client? And now, even clients that have large amounts of revenue, if they're unprofitable, might be worth cutting. Okay, it's a hard thing to do for any business owner. I know myself, I've worked hard to get every one of our clients through the door, hard to build those relationships, hard to build the goodwill with your clients. And so turning around to them at some point in the future and going, hey, listen, you know what, that's it, is a hard thing to do. But you can't grow the business without creating some capacity. And so if you take an unprofitable client who you don't want to work with, and maybe the client doesn't pay you on time, maybe they're abusive to your staff, maybe they're massively demanding and asking you for things that you can't deliver on. All sorts of reasons, okay? And some clients just don't suit certain businesses, okay? We take a strategic decision on certain classes and we don't manage those, we don't deal in that sort of sector. And so, happily to cut those clients because it's not our business. Second step is identify the problem. What's driving the loss making? Is it the revenue? Perhaps the revenue number you've agreed with the client is not quite right. Maybe it's too low. Maybe the scope has expanded. If you're a professional services firm, maybe what you agreed up front and what you're delivering are two different things. Or maybe it's a production problem. So maybe what you're delivering in terms of services needs to be done more efficiently. Either way, there's a number of different things, and it needs a bit of forensic analysis by you, the business owner, to go and manage that and go and look through it. Number 3, if it is revenue, renegotiate terms. Most businesses are pretty reasonable. And so if you sit down with a client and say, hey, listen, actually it's costing us more for these reasons. If you've got a good relationship and a good amount of goodwill there, that will actually, clients will often go, okay, you know what, fair enough. We can see the extra work. Let's talk about fees. If a client says, nah, too high, dropping you, going somewhere else, probably weren't the right client for you in the first place. And so one of the things that all businesses should try and avoid, especially when you're in professional services, is clients shopping purely based on fees. Okay, so if your client is just fee shopping, all right, this is not the sorts of clients you necessarily want. That is, as a caveat though, unless that's the sort of business you're actually in. If you're in a business that is geared towards high volume, low margin sort of business, that's fine, okay? But your business is set up for that and you're set up for the churn. So the first thing, as I guess, is making sure strategically deciding where you fit. If you renegotiate terms with clients, look at perhaps raising prices, communicating the value add. What have you done that's over and above what you were initially? Perhaps there's premium service. Perhaps you can go to your client and say, listen, this is the base service and this is what we've been doing. Here's the premium piece we're going to add and this is what it's going to cost. Okay. The other thing I'd add about renegotiating terms is discuss with your client up front. Right? Don't let scope creep, again, especially professional services, get out of control. Number 4, optimize process. So look at your own process for your delivery. Is it as optimal as it can be? If it's not, where are those areas that it can improve? Are there technology changes you can make? Are there steps in the process that you can fix? Okay. Is it staff training? Right? There's a whole bunch of different things. And again, this needs a bit of forensic analysis from you to work that piece out. Finally, make the tough call. If you've got a client you like, but you can't negotiate a better price and they're not going to budge, then you need to make a strategic call on things. Now, there's probably 2 things to think about here when you do this. The firstly is, if you've got a client with low margin, but you like the client and you've got, you already have spare capacity, then okay, maybe keep them for now anyway. But if you're at capacity as a firm, and if you can't take any more new clients on, or if you can't sell any more product, or if you've already got enough room, no more room in your warehouse, consider junking it. All right. Again, this is all part of your strategic decisions in terms of how you manage your client base. So overall, unprofitable clients shouldn't drain your business. There's no point in having an unprofitable client. If you can't turn the client around, cut them. Okay. It might hurt in the short run. Your ego as a business owner might be bruised and battered, but you know what? In the long run, you'll be far better off. Till next time.